That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So my Sundays consist of watching NFL football for 10 straight hours and consuming about 5,000 calories. I really do not do that much, but I got one substantial bit of information on Sunday from a valued source. Now, we didn't share this yesterday because I was told and taught by the great Clay Henry to not share anything unless you get it from a couple of different sources. But the text on Sunday I got said, hey, I don't think they're going to play this weekend based on the information I have. And we went into detail, and he gave me reasons, and I was like, okay, this could be a possibility. Well, Tommy, the possibility was confirmed yesterday when it was announced from the SEC office and the University of Arkansas that the Missouri and Razorbacks game has been postponed this week. And it's the news of the day. What are your thoughts on it? 877-377-6963 on a Toyota Tuesday. Make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Hey, it's almost Christmas time. Take advantage of the holiday specials at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And I know you weren't too shocked either to see the news, but it's more disappointment that when it hit our phone screen.
Yeah, you had shared your information with me, and again, we didn't have enough to go on the air with that. And we brought this conversation up with Tom Murphy yesterday that we had our doubts about, playing and getting those players back from quarantine. It would be interesting to hear what Sam had to say in his noon press conference yesterday, and that's what we were waiting on. And when he went into details about the number of players, and none of the players you were missing on that defensive line, none of those players were going to have enough time to be back for the Missouri game. Your wheels started turning, right? You don't have those guys. You're already at 56, he said. Then you had Sunday testing. Like, if anything happened at all, you were out. I mean, it's just not going to be, unless you wanted to do what Mississippi State did and play with 49 players or something of that nature, and, possibly you could move forward with a game with, walk-ons and non-scholarship players. But I don't think Arkansas was wanting to do that when taking on Missouri in a game they probably feel like they can win. And honestly, they'll never say it publicly, their last best chance to win a game. I mean, let's just, be big boys here, and let's just say what it is. You're playing Missouri and Alabama. It's your
Coors
best.
Light cold hard facts.
It's a Coors Light, exactly. So
it's not a fact, but it's a fact.
So this is not a game you want to go in shorthanded. You want to have everything you need to play it. You don't have, as Arkansas, a game on the 12th or 19th of December, so it works for Missouri. And I would imagine they're going to end the season as though they kind of want to every year. Playing Missouri is somewhat of a rivalry game.
Chuck,
were we surprised? No. When I heard the news at noon, I thought there's about a 15% chance they're going to play this game. And then at 5:30, we found out for sure.
Tommy, you mentioned what Sam Pittman had to say yesterday. It felt uneasy throughout his press conference. Sam Pittman's usually pretty chipper. Now, not following losses, but over the course of the week, he's happy. He's go-lucky. Didn't seem to be the case yesterday. You and I are both under the impression that he knew something was in the works. Here's what he had to say yesterday as far as guys being ready for the Missouri game.
There's so much going on, man, with the test and with injuries and with concussions, and there's so much going on. Can we get a guy or two back? Sure. I think the timeline has been that we could possibly get one or two guys back. But then you've got to look into injuries, into yesterday's test and all those things. And certainly our numbers aren't any better than what they were Saturday.
What the SEC should do is let Arkansas schedule a cupcake team this weekend so Jalen Catalon can sit out for the first half of that game instead of having to sit out for the first half against Alabama. Now,
that was like my second thought was, Jalen Catalon's going to miss the Alabama game. But I'm okay with that. I mean, after I processed that a little bit more, I don't really, as we were talking about, let's just be honest, where do you need Jalen Catalon more? A full 4 quarters against Missouri or a full 4 quarters against Alabama.
And you're 100% correct when you think about that, but it is frustrating to watch when your best secondary player, and you're going to have Mechie and Najee Harris running into gaping holes where the safety misses tackles, and then Devontae Smith's just going to be streaking down the sideline, and everyone's going to be looking at, where's Jalen? And he's like, oh, he's out the first half. And as soon as he comes in, hopefully that will be a resurgence for that defense. But I think it's
where you need your offense to have about 20 minutes of possession.
Exactly.
In the first half.
I think your perspective is correct, because whether we like it or not, Arkansas at this point in time is simply just not ready to compete against the Alabama Crimson Tide. That being said, you very much are ready to compete and beat Missouri. So if you really, really think about it, if you take your personal, selfish opinions and say, well, we just want Jalen the whole time. Well, of course you do. Sam Pittman, Barry Odom, Sam Carter feel the exact same way. But at this point in time, I agree 100% with your perspective. You would rather have Jalen Cattle on the entirety of that Missouri game because, again, if it's scheduled, if it lays out, we'll see what happens on December the 12th, or if it gets shifted to 19, depending on what happens, then you have a much better chance to win that football game.
I totally agree. And I think Arkansas also wants to make sure that they are healthy and ready to go for that Alabama game from a COVID standpoint. And, he went through concussions. That's something, you're out for some period of time with concussion protocol. We know those things were the things we worried more about when we didn't know what the word COVID meant. And you want to make sure of your Hunter Yurachek. You don't go play at Missouri, and it puts in jeopardy your ability to play the December 5th game against Alabama. And I know you don't think about it these ways, but I guarantee you, Clayton Hamilton or his CFO up there, they've put some things into perspective financially for him. You can't afford to miss home games right now. And if you miss that home game with Alabama on the 5th, Alabama's schedule is not clear the 12th and the 19th. They are already tied up with certainly the SEC championship game on the 19th unless it gets moved. And there's going to be Alabama playing somebody most likely on the 12th of December would be my guess, and probably maybe LSU if they decide not to play the LSU-Florida game that day and play the divisional game of Alabama-LSU. The league has not made that decision yet.
And here's what you also need to consider about this. Now, we saw Tennessee fans as of yesterday go ballistic because their game was ripped away from them. The Vanderbilt-Tennessee game was scheduled to play this week, and now the SEC said, no, Vanderbilt's going to play Missouri. So Tennessee's just sitting here like, what the bleep? Like, what are we doing this weekend? Because nothing is happening for the Vols this weekend. You watch. Just telling you right now, Arkansas has a chance where they don't play Alabama this year because they're going to rip that game away and reschedule it for some sort of reason, either for LSU or something. Watch that happen.
You may be right.
And you know what? Even though that a lot of you want to see just Alabama because they're Alabama, and you want to see Mac Jones, Devontae Smith connection, Najee Harris, some of the most talented players in the country, it would actually be better and more beneficial if Arkansas didn't play Alabama and either just ended their season with Mizzou or they got thrown some SEC East team. Whether it was South Carolina, who have you not played? Vanderbilt. Who's the other one? Who am I blanking on? Kentucky. Those would be the three teams that are possibilities as far as that goes. Because you play Florida, you play Georgia, and you play Tennessee. So just think about that. Are we missing one more? Is that three? I'm trying to do this on the fly, mate. Just think about that. That is a possibility as far as that goes.
Brought to you by River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue. They're in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center, one of our favorite places for lunch or brunch on the weekends. I know with the holidays coming up, you might be looking for some great places to enjoy after you've filled up on turkey. Well, River City Bistro is the spot for brunch this coming weekend. River City Bistro, Stonewood Village Shopping Center, and online at rcbistro.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At the Home Depot, get Black Friday pricing now through December on great gift ideas for any doer on your list, like a Ryobi Impact Drill Driver Kit for just $99, was $129. Save on top tools, appliances, the latest in smart home tech, even holiday decor to light up the living room or bring joy to the neighborhood. Black Friday savings, in-store, online, store-wide. Gift giving, improved. From the Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. See store for details.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deer Woods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vests, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the third year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business an excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Lindsey to the air, to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Knox holds it in.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
So with the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Missouri Tigers football game getting postponed this weekend and the Razorback basketball season beginning on Wednesday against Mississippi Valley State, how much concentration of yours as a Razorback fan is going to be put on Arkansas basketball this week with the game tomorrow night, and they also play Lipscomb on Saturday? That's a conversation I want to get to on the Morning Rush. Got a chance to talk with Eric Musselman yesterday. Want to hear what he had to say.
We are brought to you by the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. They want you to get out and enjoy camping in the natural state. They have the luxury brands to help you enjoy it even more, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe. Plus lifetime warranties on every new unit. Even have a mobile service shuttle when you need it. So relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
Now, we know a couple SEC basketball openers have been postponed. Arkansas, to this point, has not. Here's what Eric Musselman had to say yesterday on simply wanting to play.
The bottom line is there's games not happening. So we just want to play. Like, let's get to Wednesday. We still have another COVID test tomorrow. Like, let's get to the game. Let's play. Let's get a jump ball. And that's all I'm really concerned with right now.
You know how itching and excitement he is, as well as other Arkansas basketball fans, to get the season kicked off. And based on how football's going, now Arkansas to this point had played 8 straight games without getting the King postponed in football, and they finally do have one. They only had 56 guys, and you had the 53 minimum for last week against the LSU Tigers, but you were still able to play and just not able to play against Missouri this week. But you know Eric Musselman, you know KK Robinson, Desi Sills, Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, the list goes on and on and on of these basketball players that they want to get it going in bud tomorrow night.
You know, and it just makes me, because of what we've talked about with football, reflect back on what Eric Musselman told us last week here on the Morning Rush, is that the majority, his words were, the majority of our team has already went through COVID at this point. We know that if you've been through that, you have a 120-day window. I think they've expanded to 120. They're talking about expanding it beyond that. It was 90. Now they've went to like 120. That there's no testing. So I'm pretty confident that if the opponent can play, Arkansas is going to be able to play basketball for a while now. Now, you have an expiration date on that window. So what we're seeing with football right now, I don't think we're going to see as much with basketball, because basketball teams are tight-knit. They're smaller groups, and if it got spread around, as long as everyone was safely on the other side of it, it's going to serve their sport better this year.
Colin in Glenwood texted in, he's about 80% there. Football season's basically over. He thinks they're going to go at best 1-1 with no bowl game, but we'll see. And he's really excited to see the basketball team. Now, Colin, they will go to a bowl game if bowl games are played because of the change this year. You don't have to have a winning record or an even record to go. But I think a lot of fans, based on the confidence, you're picked 6 in the SEC West, in the SEC preseason poll, and then there's just a lot of hype about these young freshmen, top 5 recruiting class, and that does not include the players that were sitting out and the players that you brought in via grad transfer. So I think that this basketball team is going to pull in a lot of people early, especially if they can get it going and get off to a 2-0 start, which they should get off to a 2-0 start this week.
Yeah, and I think you'll look very, obviously Wednesday night. Can you do that? Because in football we've seen defenses be ahead of offenses. We've seen major upsets at parts of the season. Can we expect some of that topsy-turvy, unexpected stuff in basketball this year? Or do you think because of the nature of that sport, that the upsets won't be as likely?
I think 2020 has shown us that anything can happen.
I agree.
And I think that you're correct in assuming that it's not just going to be a football characteristic of weird games and weird wins. I think you're also going to see that in basketball, especially early on. Now, maybe when we get into 2021 and things shake out like we think they're going to a little more, and really to begin with, college basketball at first is so up in the air. I mean, Kentucky's the prime example where John Calipari's squad are so odd at first to watch because they have all the talent, but a lot of time the chemistry comes together, and then they figure it out once the SEC tournament rolls around and the NCAA tournament rolls around. But I would just assume that you're even going to see that be upped even more based on when it comes to college basketball.
I don't think it'll be as dramatic of the upsets and the outcomes of games that we've seen in football, because football missed their spring practice and their August camps were altered and different. Basketball hasn't been altered as much, as dramatically in its preseason preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you'll see a little more normalcy in the sport, other than the atmospheres not being the same, home court edge not being the same. The sport will present itself as a little bit different this year, but the practice times weren't altered as dramatically for basketball as they were for football.
Now, I do wonder, we've seen Eric Musselman and his family attend certain football games this year, and some players as well. I wonder if you'll see some football players with no game on Saturday, if they'll get a chance to go to the basketball game. I don't know the protocol as far as that goes. Now, Sam Pittman said they'll practice early on Thursday, and I wonder this was yesterday prior to the postponement of the Missouri game. I wonder now what the practice schedule looks like for the football team this week, based on no game being played this weekend, based on Thanksgiving. I know that Sam Pittman's going to allow these guys to go home, depending on if they're close or not, but that is a question that I think we're going to have, and we won't get a chance to ask him on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, obviously.
Well,
I'm wondering if he's getting more media time with us, and we'll get a chance to ask him just kind of what changes have been made with the football practice schedule this week.
I'll say this is the first time in a long time a lot of people surrounding this football program have had a chance to actually have a true Thanksgiving and a day after in decades, right? Because Arkansas has traditionally played on Friday, the day after. So on years you're traveling, LSU in the past, Missouri more recent, you're traveling on Thanksgiving Day, and then even on home games, you've got your team together and things are going on. Teams probably having Thanksgiving. For staff and coaches, this will be the first time in a while you'll be able to actually maybe do what most families do on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and at the end of the show, we're going to talk about what meat you're eating this holiday season. I'll tell you what meat you should be eating is an Arts barbecue, either smoked turkey or deep fried turkey.
I got a confession. I got one of each.
Did you really?
Well, I got a smoked turkey from a buddy of mine that does it, Jody Roop, and then I got me a fried turkey at Arts, so we're going to have some of each. So
I'm picking mine up tomorrow.
I've got Arts barbecue on the way, and they're doing the mashed potatoes. They're doing the mac and cheese, which I know you don't like mac and cheese because, you're a communist or something, and then we got the sweet potatoes going on. Then my mom's making all of her favorites. But I'm going to tell you, the star of the show is going to be Arts Barbecue for Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, they're going to be closed, of course, Thanksgiving Day, and then on Friday, and then back Saturday for when you're ready for something else, like a burger. All the burgers will be $1 off this Saturday at Arts. Happy Thanksgiving from Arts Barbecue in Fort Smith.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Every day,
Go, go, go!
22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you! I'll cover you! Let's move!
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you! I got you!
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Frank's going to keep it on an option. Touch at the 10 to the 5, leaps for the goal line. Now they're saying touchdown.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in
Quick and headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush, as it is a Toyota Tuesday. Make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including what I drive to work every single day: the Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4 in here in Arkansas. Your local Toyota dealer, Toyota, let's go places. So if you're just hearing this for the first time, Arkansas, Missouri has been postponed this weekend, going to be scheduled at a later date. Has not been confirmed for what date that is, but it has been postponed this weekend. I know a lot of Arkansas fans are disappointed to see that.
Yeah, and but it's been part of our Thanksgiving traditions to have either LSU or Missouri on the field with the Razorbacks, and this was a weird year for me. They've rarely in recent times played the Saturday after, so it's always been the day after Thanksgiving. There was that one time because they moved the Iron Bowl to that Friday that Arkansas was not able to play on that Friday. But, that was the other just kind of oddity this year. Arkansas is playing on Friday, right? No, not this year, because it was always the end of the season and what you did. So now to not even have a game after Thanksgiving, I've been doing this job for 16 seasons. 16 football seasons. I've never had a full weekend on Thanksgiving that I didn't have football responsibilities. What am I going to do? That's weird.
It's going to be.
I guess I'm going to watch a lot of the other games.
It's going to be odd. And like you mentioned, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Arkansas basketball as they tape on Lipscomb. And you mentioned before the show there's a chance that they could move that game time.
Well, I don't know. I hadn't heard anything like that. I'm just saying the reason you had it in the evening is to not compete with your football game. That's why you would schedule it that way. Arkansas can put their basketball games where they want or need to, and it's on SEC Network Plus, so it's not like TV is an issue. So they would have the freedom, is all I'm saying. If the university decided, you know what, we want to play a little bit earlier in the day, they could make that choice now. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying they could.
What's the better? Because this game's scheduled at 4:30 airtime here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. What would be better for?
Well, my guess is they're going to do nothing and leave it.
They're just going to keep it. Okay.
That would be my guess. I'm just saying now they would have the freedom if they wanted to move it up to a 2:00 game or something of that nature. But you've already set all of the logistics in place, all of your staff that has to be there to put everything in place, parking attendants. People. My guess is they'll not move a thing at this point. But I was just telling you that football was obviously the reason they were playing it at 5:00. So
news on the golf front: John Daly is recovering after undergoing a surgical procedure related to his cancer this week. He's hoping that he can play in a father-son golf tournament in December. Now, he was diagnosed with bladder cancer back in September, and he's doing everything to fight it. He wants to play with his son, little John Daly, who, by the way, has signed with the University of Arkansas golf team on the December the 17th to 20th through an event at the PNC Championship. So that's something that I know John's fighting very hard for, to compete with his son, and would be quite cool to see both John Daly and John Daly Jr. compete in this.
Absolutely. So wishing him the best in a recovery. Anytime the C word is brought up, it gets scary. And so you just hope everything's fine for John, and that the recovery is not too difficult to process.
Former Razorback Brandon Allen has been signed to the practice squad for the Cincinnati Bengals per Tom Pelissero, who works for NFL Network. And I got some bad news if you're a Bengals fan. Joe Burrow has torn his ACL, his MCL, and he suffered other structural issues in his knee. So it sounded bad at first when it was an ACL. Time we found out it was that much worse.
Yeah, and so those generally, for the normal human being, take a year to get over. For an athlete with round-the-clock care and rehabilitation and physical therapy at your beck and call, 9-10 months. We've seen it a little bit faster than that, but you just look at the calendar right now. I guess the start of camp next year is probably the next time he'll probably be able to go through football activities, would be my guess.
And I know there's going to be a lot of pressure on Zach Taylor and see what he do. So we just mentioned Tom Pelissero, who, again, broke that story about Brandon Allen. Well, we also broke this story on the NFL Network concerning the Dallas Cowboys.
If the Cowboys go on a run here, we might look back on this win over the Vikings as the sledgehammer game. Saturday night, at the team hotel in a meeting in a ballroom. Mike McCarthy gets up at the front of the room and says, guys, I want to apologize. I don't think I did a good enough job emphasizing our objectives for the week, one of which was to hammer the ball out of Dalvin Cook's hands. At that point, McCarthy pulls out a sledgehammer, not a prop, a full sledgehammer that you can knock a wall down with, and someone rolls in a bunch of watermelons. Each one has a different objective written on it. McCarthy reads the objective, bam, smashes the watermelon. He goes down the row doing this. The players are roaring. McCarthy's pants are soaked. Finally gets to the watermelon with Dalvin Cook's picture on it. DeMarcus Lawrence jumps up and goes, I got to get that one. He hands over the sledgehammer to Lawrence. He smashes that watermelon.
Just a great story as far as just invoking a response from the football team. And, hey, Jenkins, that might be known as the watermelon game.
Hey, whatever works.
You remember there used to be a comedian named Gallagher.
Yeah.
Y'all might be a little young for that, but that was his whole shtick, is he had this big wooden mouth. He'd smash fruit. That was the shtick.
His thing.
Check that out. So that's what I was thinking of as they were relaying that McCarthy story there. But it's amazing the things coaches can do, such as what the story goes there with McCarthy, that galvanize and bring a team together, at least for a day or two, to win a football game.
Reminded me too, kind of like with when Musselman did the Undertaker rise up from the grave and different things like that. You're right, little things like that. I mean, we both played basketball, and coaches always had their little shticks to kind of get teams. I mean, get teams brought together, and particularly for the Cowboys, who needed it worse than anything right now to try to get this thing turned around. Which, by the way, tied for the division lead right now with 3 wins in the division. Thank you very much.
I'm thinking they're not getting the cleaning deposit back on that ballroom in the hotel.
I would probably agree.
I'm guessing whatever cleaning, Jerry's going to have to pay a little extra.
Jerry covered the bill on that. And you brought up kind of coaches doing something demonstrative or an example of something. I remember we were playing Fuller Middle School, which I think is Oak Grove's middle school, if I remember that correctly, in basketball when I was in junior high or 8th grade. And our coach, Coach Lane, came in and snapped the clipboard in half. Because we were playing so bad, and we ended up winning that. Wow. It's sometime how it's like that one little act of not necessarily violence, but something, or as McCarthy did, was something that focuses you like that. Yeah. It's like, we need to actually play now because of this. So, but cool to see McCarthy get the Dallas Cowboys revved up, beat Minnesota. They will take on the Washington football team on Thanksgiving. Last quick headline for you: NFL last night. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fell at home to the Los Angeles Rams at Jared Goff. Now, Goff typically does not play well on the road, but he was on fire last night, connected with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods all throughout the night. And this is a little revenge game for Sean McVay and Jared Goff, because if you remember, Tommy, the New England Patriots beat the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl years back, and it was not even, I think it was 13-3 was the outcome, so they got a little revenge against Tom Brady last night.
Yep, and TB12 you thought could put together maybe a postseason run that would end in the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. They're going to have to start playing better football if that's a possibility, because it's right now not looking good. So,
because right now they're in the thick of the playoff hunt, but the New Orleans Saints are ahead of them in that division. And then you just have it's wild right now, because you got to remember there's Jenkins, is there 6 teams they're making the playoffs this year, or is it 8? It's an addition. It's 8 this year, so you have an additional this year. So it's going to be a fun playoff hunt as far as the NFL is concerned when it comes to what's going to shake out this year.
I think it's 6 wild card games, if I'm not mistaken.
I just remember
where normally it's 4. I think you added 2 extras for 3 teams from. Yeah, I think there's 6 wild card games this year.
It's going to be a quiet and entertaining day, nevertheless, when it comes to playoff football in the NFL. And that's going to do it for our quick hitting headlines here on the Morning Rush.
They are brought to you by the Kevin Hickey Law Partners. If you're building a home, that could be stressful. Trust me, just remodeling a home is stressful enough. But when you're building one, it's tough on the contractor. It's tough on the homeowner. You got changes in plans, subcontractors not showing up, non-payment. All of these issues can cause homeowners and contractors to be at odds. If this is what's going on with you, it could result in a lawsuit. You might need the lawyers at Kevin Hickey Law Partners to walk you through your legal options if you are on either side of this, as the homeowner or the contractor. Having an experienced attorney to represent you is critical here. Call Brad Hall or Kevin Hickey, 479-434-2414. That's the River Valley office number. 802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. You can find both of those numbers and more about them online. New website address, artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com for the Kevin Hickey Law Partners.
So this Razorback fan named Jeffrey responded when Jalen Catalon was announced that he was not going to be able to play in the first half of the Missouri game. Well, now it looks like he's probably not going to play in the first half of the Alabama game, depending on what shakes out with the Razorback schedule. And he said, I get it, Coach Pittman is a great guy, but sometimes for the long-term betterment of your program, you've got to stand up and call it who and what it is. Sam Pittman responded to that, and he seldom does. I think he's done it only one other time since taking over as the Arkansas head coach. And he said very strongly, Twitter gives guys like you opportunities to sit behind a cell phone and tweet out random things that you have no idea what you're talking about. I can take a lot of remarks, but for you to say that I don't take up for my players is as far from being correct as you possibly can be.
Did that guy get ratioed? Is that what y'all call it?
Yes, Jeffrey very much got ratioed as far as
I don't know who Jeffrey was, but I clicked on his profile. He had 75 followers, so I guess he's not too awfully worried about it. But, yeah, the last thing you're expecting when you're talking noise is the actual head coach to respond to your tweet. But that's what happened because he was responding to one of Nikki Chavanel's tweets, and I'm sure Coach pays attention to a lot of the recruiting folks, including Nikki's Twitter activity and social media accounts, so he kind of got caught with his hand in the cookie jar there, so to speak. And how can you make a statement like that when the first thing I think of in that defense, I mean, if you're going to if you were, let's just say, having to put on a defense for Sam Pittman, the first thing you think of is him attending the social justice rallies to represent his team and to help and be there for his team. I mean, what do you mean a guy that doesn't stand up for his team? He's backed him in every way he can. I don't know why this would be any different. The reality is there is no appeal process. There is no changing the call. The ruling on the field is final. And that's the end of it. So what else do you want him to do other than publicly say he disagreed with it? I mean, at some point you move on.
Well, and that's why I was wondering, because I was intently watching Sam Pittman when Catalon was initially tossed, and I was watching every bit in his movement. He was having conversation with Mark Curls, the head official, as well as some other officials. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as that call was confirmed, he went off in ballistic. So not only he was angry and sticking up for his player during the game, he also stuck up for him after the game, following in the press conference. And all he did on Monday was confirm that he's not playing, and he can't do anything about that. Now, I don't know if Jeffrey was advocating for him to get fined like Lane Kiffin did, because Lane Kiffin was very outspoken against the officiating in their game against Auburn. I don't know if that's, I mean, what else do you want? Do you want Sam to, and Sam's like,
listen, this is just an idiot with a phone. That's all he had going on here. I mean, listen, everybody's got a right to free speech and to prove their lack of knowledge on a subject. And this is exactly what this cat did.
So let me ask you something, not directly to what Jeffrey was saying, but did you like Sam Pittman responding to this, or should he have just let it go?
It didn't bother me.
It didn't bother you?
Yeah.
Okay, because some people, I've seen two sides to this argument. I've seen some people ecstatic seeing Sam Pittman stick up for his players and stuff on social media. I've also seen some people on the other side of the token where they're like, why are you responding to some knucklehead on Twitter? And I get both sides of the argument.
I could get with either side of that, but I think there's certain things that trip people's triggers. And when someone knows, I mean, if someone accused you of being lazy, that would really hack you off.
Yes.
They can accuse 100%. You of a lot of things.
Yes.
But if they said Ty doesn't work very hard at his job, that would really anger you.
Correct.
I think there's just certain things that, oh, no, you're not going there. You can say a lot of things about me, and I'm going to let the water roll off my back like a duck, but you're not going to say that. And I think this was that in that bucket for Sam Pittman. Oh, you can criticize me as the coach, and you can do a lot, but you're not going to. You're not. I don't care who you are. I don't care how few of followers you got, Jeffrey, anonymous man with 75 followers. You are not going to say I don't stand up for my players. Because if at that point he's got to stand up for himself and his team and his program and everything he's about. So I think it was just one of those things that, all right, you crossed the line with where his line's at. His line was
not saying that you don't stand up for my players.
That was it for him.
And you said mine would be See if someone called me lazy.
That or if someone said you didn't eat healthy during the week, even though we know that's a lie, you still get very defensive when we challenge your dietary choices Monday through Friday. You try to stand on this.
Let me tell you, I let go of the rope this
nutritional
week.
Bible of I eat healthy. I eat chicken and rice all week, and then I see pictures like last night on Twitter of fully loaded pepperoni pizzas, and I just wonder what's going on here. But you do get defensive when we challenge two things: your work ethic and your nutritional choices.
Yeah, those two things. I will say this: as of last night,
and we know one of those is a lie. Yeah. The other one you're pretty good at.
As far as that goes, last night, cards on the table. Again, I do try and eat healthy throughout the week.
There you go. Making excuses.
It's awful on the weekend, but I will say this: as of last night, I got a delectable Heritage Pizza Parlor pepperoni pizza.
It looked like a double pepperoni.
And not only that, I had an ice cold Razorback Bud Light. Which
so
again,
now he's drinking during the week.
He said on these airwaves, we need to find the tape. I do not drink during the week.
I do not drink during the week. I eat chicken and rice and healthy all week.
Tommy,
so
did you drink
on the
last
weekend.
night?
I did not
because you respect Ty's decision, so you don't want to I get it. I didn't drink either. I don't know if I can sit next to you
Like I said, I let go of the rope this week. It's
morals.
Thanksgiving week. Arkansas game got postponed. I needed a
little
crispy
postponement holiday is all you need to just let go.
He had a rough day yesterday. He got awfully emotional during the show yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
It's just
his face turned into Rudolph. His face turned as red as Rudolph yesterday.
Very irritated and angry yesterday.
Nothing will fix that like pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, it was absolutely
what
nutritious.
What place was it that did the shakaroni? Was it
Papa John's?
Papa John's. Yeah,
yeah. So, but it was so good.
It looked good.
Yeah, it was very good. I will say I did have a little self-discipline. I didn't eat the whole thing. I only ate 4 slices. So, but
how many slices were in there?
8. But the only reason I didn't eat the 4 slices is because I had my leftover La Huerta about 2.5 hours before.
So now we're having Mexican food and pizza.
Yeah.
How does he not look like me?
I don't know. Or me. Yeah.
What do I always say? Built different.
You just wait.
Built different.
Built different, boy.
So let's go to the phone lines, 877-377-6963. Welcoming our favorite caller, Kagan, who is out in Piggott, home of the Mohawks. Kagan, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
How y'all doing this morning?
Man, we're good, man. A little disappointed that Arkansas-Missouri game's canceled, but it is Thanksgiving week, and we have a lot to be thankful for here on the Morning Rush.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. It's disappointing, but in reality, in my opinion, I think that's actually something good. It'll get the people on the teams that need more reps and more training of their job or whatever you want to call it. I think it's good that we got this game postponed because there's some stuff that we can work on and we can capitalize on this extra 2 weeks for the players that we do got for practice. They can get better, and that's what we need. We need to work on, I guess, maybe different packages or get, the special teams lined out. We need to do something because if we got a healthy team against Missouri, I don't see them standing a chance. And this ought to give us plenty of time to maybe get everybody healthy and all that. But we also got Thanksgiving break. People that go see their family, we don't know what's going to happen there. But anyways, I think this is a good thing for our team because it gives everybody a chance to get healthy and get back to where they need to be. That's going to play a big part in the Missouri game and whatever game we play or whatever, even if it's Alabama, if everybody's healed up. I know we probably ain't going to win that game, but we got a better chance with everybody.
Kagan, I agree with you 100%. You can always look at these type of scenarios as glass half full and glass half empty, and you are looking at it as a glass half full where they're getting healthy for not only Alabama but Missouri, and you want to be healthy for that game against the Missouri Tigers, which could be your final football game this season, because you would like to head into a potential bowl game on a high note. So I think in this scenario, as a Razorback fan, you need to be looking at this football game postponing as a positive rather than a negative, even though you do want to watch your Razorbacks on Saturday.
And if we do play Alabama next, which, maybe we will, maybe we won't, I don't know, somebody else makes those calls, but if it does get out of hand like the second half or third quarter, fourth quarter, whatever, I'd like to see KJ or Malik. We've yet to really see what they can really do. We know what KJ can run the ball, but he can throw the ball too. They just haven't let us see that. And that's what I want to see. I want to see, KJ throw a pass or Malik throw a pass. I want to see something from those guys. I mean, that's the future of our team. You know, I'd love for Franks to come back, and maybe he will. But I mean, I really want to see those young quarterbacks we got because they're both highly recruited and highly regarded. I mean, I want to see what they got. I know they can throw the ball and run the ball, but I got to see it.
Okay, Kagan, appreciate your call this morning. I do agree with your first point. I don't necessarily agree with your second because I think Felipe, and I know he threw an interception in that LSU game, but Felipe has been dynamite for you this year. I mean, he has a chance. I don't know where his completion percentage is now, but we mentioned this earlier. He has a chance to have the all-time single-season completion percentage in Razorback history. His deep ball has been unreal this year.
But all he's saying is, if the game gets out of hand against Alabama, and there's a chance that will happen, just kind of like it happened at Florida, could we see one of the younger quarterbacks get a little more time in the second half? He didn't say replace them as the starter. He's just saying when the game's out of hand, why keep playing Felipe? I mean, I agree with what Kagan's saying.
Okay.
I mean, why risk injury with Felipe? Because you're going to have a difficult time beating Missouri without him. And B, you do need to develop some of these other guys. Give them some confidence. Let them know that they've earned some playing time based on their efforts to prepare the team throughout the week and on and on and on to keep guys engaged and plugged in. So if the game is lost at that point, that's making an assumption, but we know Alabama has the ability to do that. Why would you not? Now, playing against Alabama's second lines can still be very difficult because they have a lot of team depth, but I kind of agree with Kagan on this one. He's not saying replace him as a starter. He's not saying give him first half snaps.
He just wants to see him at
the tail end. Mop-up duty.
Do you have a preference that you want to see at this point between Malik and KJ?
I haven't seen Malik, so I don't even know. I don't have an opinion there.
It's kind of either or at this point, or would you rather?
Well, I'd like to see maybe Malik Hornsby because I haven't at all. Right? I mean, he's come in and had, one series? They brought him in for one of these goal line packages that didn't work, but they've done the same thing with KJ. I think that's the only time he's been on the field this year. I mean, to say that, I can't draw a conclusion about his ability to be a quarterback based on that.
Based on one play, yeah. I would probably agree with you on that.
So I'd like to see him in a situation other than that.
Yeah, I think
basically that's where we've seen, other than at Florida for a little bit with KJ, that's where we've seen the backup quarterbacks is some goal line packages, more Jefferson than Hornsby. I think we've only seen Hornsby once, and
I think you're right.
They've quit doing that in the last 4 games or whatever, 4 games.
And the fans are appreciative of not taking
gadget plays, and we've quit seeing that,
especially with Felipe's completion percentage and decision making in the red zone. It's been pretty superb at this point.
All right, hour number 2 straight ahead. We're brought to you by United Welding Institute. If you're ready to take the next step and make some real money, we're talking like $2,800 a week. You can become a high-paid career welder with United Welding Institute. Oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, so many industries that United Welding Institute can help you find a high-paying, great job. Seize the opportunity. Take the next step towards a successful and essential career. Call United Welding Institute in Pottsville. They've been doing this since 2013. 479-968-3390. That's 479-968-3390. Or online at UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Coming up in the program, we're going to be joined by Clay Henry, publisher of Hogs Illustrated. We're going to get back into the postponement conversation, also get his take on the Arkansas-LSU game, and then we'll also dive back into a number of other things. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
What was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan? It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,750 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and GMC Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day the 26th, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th, and 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper reclining sofa and loves regular $22.50, on sale finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale, all furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses are on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Sale. Best seats in the house.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly sunny sky, a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms in the mix. Our high today will be right around 60. Showers and widespread thunderstorms with us tonight. And overnight low will drop down into the mid-40s north, low 50s south, and then just a few leftover showers and storms across the south Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Western Arkansas Counseling. Help a veteran today. Call 1-800-542-1031.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
Well, I'm thankful to be the head coach at Arkansas. I mean, I'm thankful for my staff. I'm thankful for the fans. I'm blessed. I'm thankful to our players. Been a pretty good year for me.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush. Borderline erotic. With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 2 of The Morning Rush, set to be joined by Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up in just one sec. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Make sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including my favorite, the Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here at Arkansas, your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Now, Arkansas did not have any success on third down against the LSU Tigers on Saturday. And Clay always writes a column following the game, discussing just kind of what the biggest statistics, the biggest points that were made. And Clay, you titled your story, Third Down, the Difference, as your State of the Hogs piece that you always write. And really, Clay, not only was the difference for your offense, but it was the difference for your defense as well, as they were not able to get off the field on third down.
Yeah, it's ironic that the column that I wrote during the week on Thursday, the keys to victory, was all about third down. I don't think I'd ever written a whole column that detailed, the pressure of third downs and what it does to the team and time of possession and all the things that figure into just the third downs. And, you can say, well, first down's more important because it sets up third down. But anyway, that's what I focused on, and LSU was 101st in the nation third down conversion defense with 47%, which is horrible, and Arkansas goes 0 for 10. So I think Phil Elson sent me a text in the middle of just before halftime, and it says, "Dadgum, I didn't realize what you wrote yesterday was that much the key, but it is today," and it was. And there were just so many third downs. If they make one of them, they win the game. I mean, just about 7 or 8 different points during the game. If they can just convert one of those babies, that it changes. Of course, there's the third down in the red zone that they end up kicking a field goal when they could have gone up, by 8 with a touchdown and an extra point. That was so much, a big point in the game, and they didn't make the field goal on that one. So anyway, it was, that
was where Frank slipped. That was a very costly slip and fall, which just the wet turf and the uncertain footing.
Yeah,
That was not the time to lose your footing, for sure.
Yeah, he hands it to Treylon on that give. Treylon probably coasted into the end zone because it was like the Red Sea parted. LSU went one way, and when Franks went down, of course, that play was dead. So, yeah, it's kind of it had rained, for 15 minutes really hard, and the field was slick, and it just didn't work out. Now, LSU slipped on some cuts too, so –
but at the goal line, they're a little more.
But at the goal line, it was a critical time to lose your footing. Yep, you're right, Tommy.
I saw somebody. I saw somebody. He's a media member. I'll leave him unnamed. He's not from our media pool, but questioned that the game may boil down to the equipment managers and the cleats that Felipe Franks had on, and that slip and fall. I don't know if I can. That may be about 3 bridges too far for me, but I get the point. So,
Clay, what I found interesting is you kind of cataloged the last time Arkansas had failed to convert a third down, and of all the games that came to mind, and you put it in there, 2009 against East Carolina in that frigid Liberty Bowl where the Arkansas offense struggled that day, and it was kind of defense and missed field goals that help Arkansas overcome the Pirates. But it's been 11 years since you've gone 0 for on third down, and that would not be the quarterback that I would think that would go 0 for 10, but it very much was in Ryan Mallett.
Yeah, and you just go back to that game, and when you say frigid, I'm not sure that does it justice. I mean, that's as cold as I can remember in a long time for an Arkansas game, and I'm sure that the quarterbacks and the receivers were having a hard time latching onto that football and throwing it very well. So, yeah, it was a strange game, and you just think, well, Bobby Petrino's not going to go 0-4 with Ryan Mallett at quarterback, and he did. So it can happen, and I think that game was a lot more third downs than this one was. So, but yeah, it was a tough situation. You know, they lost the spot on the review, and I think that probably was a good review. But the play before it, you know, I think Franks probably was closer to the first down on that play than he was the third down play, and they got an awful spot. They moved the ball back a yard and a half after initially making the correct spot, and that was just a strange, bizarre decision. You know, as you know, we talk about referees all the time, and you know, we say it's Mark Curls. Well, Tommy can comment on this, but I didn't really see Mark Curls make a bad call. He didn't as the white hat referee. It was the crew around him that it just seemed like for both teams just had an awful game.
I didn't think it was the Stripes' best day, and they spent too much time having to go to replay. Now, targeting fouls are automatically reviewed. There was 2 of those, so 2 of the replays were automatically reviewed. And any coach's challenge, which Arkansas had one, is obviously going to send you to the replay booth. But
LSU reviewed a play too.
Right. So,
they asked for a review.
I think there were 7 reviews in the game. Now 4 of them were automatics. So anytime you have a scoring play, those are So there's some times where the replay and the use of replay is automatic. Targeting being one of those. And you're exactly right. I think Mark Curls, I know the history, and you can repeat 09. It's like a bad marriage where we keep bringing something up from 13 years ago that you did, and we're not going to let someone forget it. The mistake you made 13 years ago. Yeah, exactly. It keeps getting brought up over and over and over. It's worse than infidelity somehow. But, Mark Curls has nothing to do with that, and this isn't a defense of officiating. This is just a statement of fact and how the process goes. But people see him looking at a monitor on the field, and they think it's like the NFL, and the white hat is somehow making that call, and he's just the messenger. And we have certainly killed the messenger on social media the last 72 hours.
Yeah, his line judge called the targeting foul a little late, I might add, and from 5 yards away from Ed Orgeron.
Well, and I know
Go figure that one
out.
I
get the perception of that, but
I get the perception of it too, Tommy.
But I'm just going to tell you that as someone who's not at that level, but done this. Sometimes the guy that's furthest away has the most open look, and the rule book clearly says, if in doubt, drop your flag on targeting and let the replay figure it out.
Yeah, and then Ken Switzer is the one that did the review, and I mean that he's the same replay guy that was in the press box at Auburn. Yeah. So
I get the perception.
That's the last time you want to see that guy. Yeah, telling you that's it.
Everybody tries to connect some dots that aren't necessarily there, and it's.
I didn't do anything. I just said that's the last time you want to see him.
I'm just if you've read social media at all the last 72 hours, I'm just
which I don't.
But and you don't. But listen, the Stripes did not have their best day at all, and the target.
Neither did the Arkansas offensive line. So
there's a lot of other factors that went into that ball game.
Yeah, they didn't block very well, and they had blocked pretty well, and. I know Sam Pittman and Kendall Briles were convinced that they could block the LSU and get to their linebackers who'd been the weak part of that defense. All of them new guys, and they didn't. They just didn't take care of that front four at all, and that was the mismatch on the day that ended up costing them the game.
We're brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Happy Thanksgiving from everyone at World of Wireless. They're celebrating 25 years in business this month, and right now is the time to make the move to DISH because you get a Google Home Hub and you get a $100 Visa gift card. That's $200 in free gifts when you make the move to DISH right now. Help them celebrate 25 years. Call today. They'll have you installed before the weekend with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH or right at the light next door to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barley.
Coming up, your SEC update, and we'll again get back into this conversation of Arkansas, Missouri postponed.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frank Rowe Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Rowe Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks pumps once. He wanted to go deep. Everybody was covered. Now he's going to heave it downfield. He's got Burks at the 20, complete. Trailing inside the 10. Burks is at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Traylon Burks.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
SEC update coming up here on the Morning Rush, and I know that many of you already have your Thanksgiving plans laid out and what you're going to be doing this upcoming week, and we've already got some plans laid out as we are going to be once again at Buffalo Wild Wings here in Fort Smith on Friday night. They have 4 new sauces, and you need to try them all: the pizza sauce, lemon pepper, orange sauce, and Carolina Reaper. Now, I've had Carolina Reaper. It's fantastic. I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like really, really spicy foods. It might be a little hot for your palate, but if you do love spicy foods, then this is the sauce for you. It's taking over as the new captain, as the new blazing sauce, and you need to try it. We're a big fan of the happy hour specials after 9 o'clock. That's why we like to go there on Friday nights. The tacos, the onion rings, the mozzarella sticks, whatever, and the beer specials as well. Buffalo Wild Wings, locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Make sure you get over to B-Dubs after you're through having some turkeys. Now let's get into your SEC update.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have 3 of the top 4 tacklers in the SEC this season: Jalen Catalon, Bumper Poole, and Grant Morgan. And actually, Grant is the leading tackler in college football this year, which is quite cool. So just another group, or another couple of accolades for Arkansas defensive players, and well-deserved based on how they played this season, fellas.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch those guys play. And Jalen Catalon is, to me, is he's the surprise a little bit. I think we knew Grant was a good player. We've seen him play before. He's been much more consistent this year. It's that if there's anything that would make them, not be among the nation's leaders, would be a more consistent offense where they're not on the field as much. They have been out there an awful lot, and it was 40-something minutes against LSU, and that's not good for your defense. But those guys have held up and done their part, so it's hats off to them. Grant Morgan has been a delightful guy to be around. He's got an attitude a lot like his brother, and kudos to his parents that raised 2 great ones. And I don't know if you remember this, but Drew Morgan got the Beckett Award, which was given to the press for the most engaging player, and we don't get to engage with them this year because of the COVID protocols, and you're just in Zooms. But still, with Zooms, you get the true Morgan flavor. Every time they put Grant in front of that screen, it's just a lot of fun to watch him play, and then to talk to him after games and before games.
Grant's definitely one of the best, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to his little brother, Grant. As far as the games next weekend go, there's going to be no announcement that was made. There was no announcement made yesterday about the TV times for December the 5th. These are going to be made on a 6-day selection process, so we'll have that next week, next Monday, as far as what games. And Clay, Tommy and I were discussing this earlier. I still think there's a possibility that they shift the schedule around and we don't have Arkansas and Alabama next weekend. I think that the SEC would much rather have Alabama take on LSU. Now, I don't know that for a fact. That's me just guessing. But I still think there's a possibility that the Crimson Tide and the Razorbacks don't play in Fayetteville next weekend.
Well, I think that's who's going to play next week, and I think that it's likely to be a CBS game. And Arkansas hasn't had a CBS game this year, so I think that's going to be their shot. And it's you could be right that I don't think the SEC office cares how they played the TV guys might care, but I don't think it matters to the SEC office who plays who when. It's just their best effort to get in all 10 games for all 14 teams. That's the goal, and I don't see that whether it's going to make a whole lot of difference, one way or the other. And you can't, somebody's not going to get to play Alabama before the SEC championship game, and I think it's going to be LSU.
And I'm wondering what is going to happen. The reason I bring that up is because Vanderbilt is now going to be playing at Missouri this weekend. Now, this game was going to be played October the 17th. It was postponed, and what that did is it took away the Vanderbilt-Tennessee game that was going to be played this weekend, and Tennessee fans are not happy, Clay.
They're going to play that game. I mean, it's they've got 2 more weeks to. Neither one of those teams are going to be in the championship game, and that's now a possibility to have games. So you've got the 5th and the 19th to play games. But it's Missouri didn't have a game, and trying to get them to play 10 games before the end of the season, that's part of the issue. But anytime a team is about to play Vanderbilt, you want your chance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but everybody can't play Vanderbilt every week. I guess that's the other point.
Yeah. Well, we will get into kind of what's going to shake out this weekend, and as far as the Arkansas-Missouri game being postponed coming up here on the Morning Rush.
All right, make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine with Burton Pools and Spas. Find out what it means to get more out of each and every day. Burton's has 28 different hot spring spas for you to choose from. Different models with different setups, different designs, different entertainment packages. Even some models are now available with salt water as part of your design. Ease muscle pain, reduce stress, feel better every day. Get more out of every day with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Zero Street in Fort Smith, just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com. These are the local folks you can count on. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Here was Sam Pittman yesterday speaking to, and again, it hadn't been announced yet to this point, but the idea of playing the Missouri Tigers on Saturday.
There's so much going on, man, with the test and with injuries and with concussions, and there's so much going on. Can we get a guy or two back? Sure. I think the timeline has been that we could possibly get 1 or 2 guys back. But then you've got to look into injuries, into yesterday's test and all those things. And certainly our numbers aren't any better than what they were Saturday.
Guys, I think Sam Pittman knew that press conference started at noon. I think he knew then they weren't likely going to play. They didn't release the news till 5:30, but he knew what the numbers were. You could kind of hear the frustration in his
The
voice.
die was cast.
That he knew that the meetings were being had, even though he had to stop and have this press conference. He knew the wheels were in motion to postpone this game. He knew right then. He just couldn't say it yet.
Yeah, Clay and Tommy and I discussed this before the program began. Sam is usually pretty chipper, pretty dapper in these press conferences, not following a loss, but just during the course of the week, he did not seem at any point yesterday. I only think he smiled once when Tom asked him a question about what he's thankful for, but you could tell. He also mentioned that the numbers were no better than they were Saturday, and the SEC makes the call as far as games getting postponed. And you probably knew this as well. We heard some whispers. I got a pretty solid text that I trusted on Sunday that the game was probably going to get postponed, but we didn't share it with our audience yesterday because it wasn't confirmed from multiple different people. But the outlook of playing this game was kind of bleak to begin with, and then it was verified as of yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's you start, and we don't know who the concussions were, but that when you get your quarterback rattled around the way he was, and you just wonder, if that was one of the players, and so it's the concussion thing. That's 7 days, and there's a lot of different ways you can miss a football game. It's not just COVID.
That's right.
And it's the way this came down, the way this season has gone. Arkansas has dodged it a couple of times this year, and it finally added up. Yeah. And they all wanted to play last week. Probably shouldn't have. I mean, their numbers were right on the precipice to being able to say no, we can't. And there's been some other teams that have been, right at the precipice, and they've gone ahead and played. And you admire their courage, but also, if you're a coach, at some point you say, "Listen, guys, we're not doing ourselves any favor. We're putting players out there before it's time for them to play, and then you don't want to." Burn a red shirt, on the possibility of playing a guy, for some games that they're not ready. I don't know what the eligibility is going to be for any of these guys playing this year, but it's they're doing the right thing without question.
Another one of my thoughts in all of this, and I go back to the finances of how it works, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing the bank will deposit is money. And home games are valuable this year. Even though you only have 25% capacity, you can't afford to lose one of 5 precious home games. You don't want to go play a game on the road if you don't, just to play the game, and then put your home game with Alabama in jeopardy. Alabama's flexibility in December to reschedule your game is virtually not there, because they're going to play the championship game on the 19th. They're supposed to play you on the 5th. They want to get that Alabama-LSU game in somewhere. The odds of them making up an Arkansas-Alabama home game at Arkansas would not be good. But Arkansas-Missouri, a lot more flexibility. So I think when you start think about it from Hunter Yurachek's chair, and also making sure you get that 5th and final home game in, I think that's somewhere in the calculus here too.
Yeah, Clay.
Yeah, and Greg Sankey's chair too. Yeah, and ultimately Greg Sankey is going to tell you when you can make up those games, and who gets, what games get made up, and what, who ends up with 9 games. There may be somebody when this is all said and done that only played 9 games.
And that's a question I want to bring up. And Clay, you brought up numbers. So this was, I know Nikki and Hutch compiled this. You had 56 players that could play scholarship-wise for the Arkansas-LSU game.
Yeah, and that's unconfirmed. That's just their thought.
Okay.
Yeah. I did some other numbers, and I didn't come up with the same total. So, you go figure. Yeah.
What was your number that you came up with?
Doesn't matter. It's unconfirmed.
Okay.
Whether this guy was eligible but wasn't dressed out. I mean, that doesn't mean just because he wasn't dressed out doesn't mean he wasn't eligible to play.
Okay. They and again, these are their numbers. This, if you want to say that's unconfirmed, they've compiled that they have injuries, opt-outs, and transfers. They only have 73 of 85 available scholarship players the rest of the way, and you're right on the precipice of the 53 minimum that you had in order to play. And again, that's their numbers. They compiled those 56, but
and I wonder if it's 53 and you can play, or 53 and you have to play.
Have to play. Yeah.
It just depends on which chair you're sitting in.
You always the question
if you're below 53, you can opt out of playing.
Right.
You can still play if you want to.
Mississippi State
have.
Yeah, Mississippi State only had 49 scholarship players when they played Georgia,
and they only lost by 7, which I found interesting. So Clay, the question I have is kind of what you were saying. There might be an SEC team that only gets to play 9 games this season, and the reason I'm kind of speculating about the possibility of the SEC taking away the Alabama game and rescheduling it to LSU, it just seems like that Arkansas would get the short end of the stick when it comes to that, right? Like the SEC.
I don't see that.
You don't.
That's your thought.
So why? Let me ask you something. Why do you think that Arkansas and Alabama are going to play next weekend and they won't?
Because they're scheduled to.
Well, Clay, we just saw we've had multiple schedules already this season. They've been postponed.
But there's no reason to change it.
Why is there no reason? Well, sure there is. Money.
If both teams are COVID cleared, so to speak, use that term, why would they cancel the Arkansas? I mean, because it'd be basically a cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel the Arkansas-Alabama game. I'm kind of with Clay on this one, unless one of the teams
just
didn't
doesn't
have
make any sense. Yeah, I don't see any reason to do that. So that's your conspiracy theory, and I don't hold that.
I think we'll see, because they're making the announcement on Monday. There's 6 days is when they're announcing television time. So I'm just that's just, again, it's not solid or anything. I'm just throwing that out there as an idea that might happen. I'm not saying it's going to.
Tennessee game got moved, and now Missouri's playing Vanderbilt is because Arkansas couldn't play. There was COVID involved.
And they have extra dates for those teams.
And they have, and there's flexibility for when Tennessee and Vanderbilt can play. So
is LSU going to be the team this year that only gets to play 9? Am I doing that math right?
That would appear to be the case, yes. Okay.
I think that's the only team that's trying to think if there's one off the top.
Unless something else happens in the next 2 weeks. You get to the end and a team has COVID, well, then they're the team that gets 9. Yeah, those 2 teams. If you play if there's a game that's not scheduled to the 19th and either one of those teams has COVID, well then you're going to have 2 more teams that only play 9, and that's just the way it'll be.
We've talked about how this could be glass half full type of scenario for Arkansas, and I think it's going to be, and we'll touch on this subject on the other side of the break. As it is a Toyota Tuesday, make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious RAV4 at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Arkansas needed another bye week. They'd played 8 games, scheduled games to this point. Now, you don't want COVID cancellation for any reason, but this is actually going to play into your favor. You're now going to finish off, assuming the schedule plays out as we think it's going to, you're going to finish your season with Missouri rather than finishing your season with Alabama. And you get basically 2 weeks to game plan for the Crimson Tide, which you're going to need every single bit of that was you can get. Now, it sucks Jalen Catalon's not going to be able to participate in the Alabama game in the first half, but as Tommy and I have talked about, when you actually look at it, Clay, it's going to be much better for the Arkansas Razorbacks in terms of having him for the entirety of the Missouri game, assuming that's how it shakes out.
Yeah, I'd rather have him for the entirety of the Alabama game, but that's another matter. I guess you're chalking that up as a loss before you play the game, and I don't like to do that. There could be, there could be some, some targeting and some injuries and some COVID for Alabama, and they may come in here with 55 players, and you have a chance. So, I'm not gonna give that one away before you even play it, which I think that's what you're doing. So I don't look at it quite the way you're looking at it, but again, I probably want my chance at Alabama, and maybe you don't.
Well, here's the way. I think in 2020 with COVID stuff, the way you're looking at it is probably better. But if this was a normal year, I mean, like, how many injuries would it take for you to compete against Alabama?
All it takes is 2 guys getting COVID and 12 guys being contact traced. That's all it takes. And that is just so slim.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Clay. Like in 2020 with COVID being related to college.
That's why I said that. Yeah.
So I'm agreeing with you as far as that goes. Yeah. So because I think your perspective as far as that, and because this is not a normal year as far as that's concerned, but I mean, let's just be honest. If we're going to be open about this, Arkansas would need a lot of help And, I mean, we're not wishing COVID on anyone or injuries on anyone or players getting suspended, but they would need help to beat Alabama or compete against Alabama for that matter.
As the rosters are constructed, Alabama's clearly the better team.
It's not even like there's not even a debate. The talent level, the second team, it doesn't even matter. So, I mean, the way Mac Jones has played this year at the quarterback position, I know they lost Jalen Waddle, but that offense hasn't skipped a beat as far as that's concerned. So, I mean, if I'm looking at this game as Alabama going to beat Arkansas, and I'm saying that 2 weeks from now, then I'm going to stick to that until we have something disastrous or out of this world happen for that football program, which, as we know, with 2020 very well could. But as it stands right now, I don't think it's unheard of for me to think Alabama's going to beat Arkansas. I don't think that's an outlandish take for me to have based on what I've seen from the Crimson Tide and what I've seen from the Razorbacks against superior quarterbacks in this league. It's that and an offensive line. I don't think that's an outlandish take to have, Clay.
You just say whatever you want to, Ty.
Okay. If you want to say that Arkansas is going to beat my Alabama, you go
ahead.
No,
but I'm saying it's too early to say that. I mean, I'm just saying I don't – I listen to a lot of what you say, and I go, oh, my gosh, he's given up already. I mean, it's there. All it has to be is for Mac Jones to turn an ankle in the next 2 weeks.
And then Bryce
That's
Young,
all it has to do.
And then Bryce Young's going to come in and probably throw for 400 yards. But
he might have COVID. Listen, you just take your chances from week to week, and this is college football. And I don't ever want to give away a chance to beat Alabama. I mean, I just don't want to do it. And I want a chance at those guys. I look at them the same way I did Texas. I want to play them.
Okay,
I'm not going to concede. So,
listen, that is the mentality that every Razorback player should have. But if we're being honest and we're being upfront and frank about this, how would you rather end your season?
I've already told you I don't go down that road, Ty.
No,
you can say it. You can say it 20 times.
Clay,
I don't care.
Clay, just let me ask you this question because you didn't even let me finish it. Would you rather end the season and get an opportunity to play both Vanderbilt and Missouri and have your chance at 2 SEC wins, stack you up at 5-5, or have a chance?
What are you doing now? That's a hypothetical. That's not out there.
Just asking you a question, Clay. I mean,
I want to play Alabama and I want to beat them.
I do too. I want to beat Alabama. You hadn't beat them since 2006. You hadn't beat them since 2006. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. I want a lot of things in life. It's not going to happen in Sam Pittman year one that you're going to finally beat Nick Saban. It's just not. And you putting that in people's head that it's even a possibility.
You're saying they got no chance. I got it. I got what you're saying.
That it's even a possibility. I mean, do you honestly think that? Can you sit here on a Tuesday and think that's going to happen? In Nick Saban, of all the years, in Sam Pittman's year number one. I mean, Tommy, you want to help me out with this? Where do you stand on this?
I don't think
it's Thanksgiving.
I don't think Arkansas has much of a chance to beat Alabama.
Thank you. I mean, I know we're thankful for Arkansas football, but I don't want to ever.
Call me back in the next segment. This is pitiful.
I'm thankful.
I think you just put the headset down.
I don't ever want to be labeled as a homer. That was the most homerish bit of radio we have ever done.
Well, I understand he doesn't want to concede the game till you play the game. I get that too, but at the end of it, I want to play Alabama and see where you measure up, but I don't think Arkansas under nearly any scenario is going to beat Alabama. So, Mac Jones out. You mentioned Bryce Young coming. I mean, Alabama's depth, and there's a reason they're number one. But I would like to see – I would rather play Alabama, even though you might lose, than play someone else.
Thank you.
And see where you're at. I would like to see the progress where you're at. Now, I want to do that under these circumstances. Arkansas has all of their players available, and you've got all of your defensive line, and you're ready to play.
You got Jalen Catalon.
And you got Jalen Catalon. So, hey, we'll get back to this entertaining bit of conversation after we tell you about Gaston's White River Resort. Thanksgiving's coming up in just a couple of days. Still a little bit of time to make your reservation at Gaston's, 870-431-5202. Take your family over. Have some turkey, some New York strip, some ham, some mashed potatoes. Their dessert table is going to be incredible, but it's reservation only. 870-431-5202. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., the all-day Thanksgiving buffet at Gaston's. Make it a new tradition. Or stay for the weekend. They got socially distanced cabins. They've been doing it since, for 60 years. They've got 80 different cabins on property that are all individual and private. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa in Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Robinson Buick GMC. Get 0 for 84 months on the hottest selling Buick model, the Buick Encore, or 0 for 84 on the Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury and third row seating. 0% financing for 84 months on all 2020 Buicks, GMC Terrains, and Acadias at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Smith on the call, he's got a big hole, there he goes. Smith at the 40, to midfield, to the Florida 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas!
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
So social media is an interesting stratosphere where people say things on there that they would have no business and not say in person. And one of those statements was made yesterday from an Arkansas Razorback fan about Sam Pittman. Sam responded to that, and we will get into that coming up here on the Morning Rush as far as what he had to say in regards to Jalen Catalon. Tommy.
Yes, and sometimes you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, and I think that's exactly what happened with this particular fan. We are brought to you this morning by NWA Gold and Silver. If you got gold or silver coins, if you got that silver flatware that's up in the China hutch that you're never going to use again, or that gold jewelry that's in the jewelry box right now, that pendant or something that's out of style, take it to NWA Gold and Silver. It's the holidays. You may need some extra cash. These are the people that pay the most, and they can tell you exactly what your item is worth, if it's real, number one. And then, those gold or silver coins right now are worth more than ever because of the price of gold being at all-time highs. Stop in NWA Gold and Silver, 1130 North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and you'll also find them in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue just above Central Mall. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith, the people that pay the most.
So a guy on Twitter yesterday decided it would be smart to say, hey, I get it, Coach Pittman is a great guy, but sometimes for the long-term betterment for your program, you've got to stand up and call it for what it is. And this was in reference to Jalen Catalon being suspended for the first half of the Missouri game, which he will be suspended for the first half of the Alabama game. And apparently, according to this gentleman, Sam Pittman did not stand up enough. Well, I don't know what he was watching during the course of the game, but you could clearly see Sam was frustrated with the ejection of Jalen Catalon, not only voiced his opinion to Mark Curls, but many of the other referees touched on it in the post-game presser, was trying not to get fined, and then also was asked about it again yesterday. And I don't know, guys, if this fan was advocating for Sam Pittman to blast the officials and take the fine, and I don't know what good that's going to do for him.
The guy that doesn't know anything.
For him to lose $25,000, but to say that Sam Pittman doesn't stand up for his players, I don't know what he's been doing and monitoring these last few months when it comes to Sam Pittman and the relationship that he has with his guys.
Keyboard warrior. Captain Courageous when you don't think you're going to be held accountable for your words, but you don't expect when you say something that you just flippantly throw out there that the head coach is going to respond to your tweet.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened.
Sam Pittman.
We don't really know what's being said in back channels. We're not on those channels, and I think that it's pretty clear that Sam and Hunter Yurachek both have expressed their frustration to what they saw on the field and what they saw, on their game film afterwards. They went through it play by play, and then they make a report every week, and they get to talk to supervisor official, and they let it be known what they thought of those calls, if they thought they were right or if they thought they were wrong. And it's I think that he probably took care of his players just fine in those discussions.
He responded, says, Twitter gives guys like you opportunities to sit behind a cell phone and tweet out random things that you have no idea what you're talking about. I can take a lot of remarks, but for you to say, I don't take up for my players is far from being correct as you can possibly be. Now, the question I have from his statement that he voiced, because I think this is the second time he's done this when it comes to a fan being critical of something. Do you like this or you don't like this? And I can see both arguments. I can see the fans that enjoy this, that see him sticking up for his players and see this as another example of that. I can also see the fans saying, why are you responding to some bum on Twitter?
Why are you giving him
Why are you
credibility?
giving him the time of day, man? You're Sam Pittman. You're the head coach of the University of Arkansas. Clay, Tommy, and I both given our opinions on the matter. We're kind of on the fence. Where do you stand on this?
I think it's just fine. I don't it took about 5 seconds, and that's probably all he needs to spend on it and move on, and he probably did. Probably made him feel a little better, and, there's not been much go right, in the last week, with COVID, and he's been through COVID, and stayed home and, has been through stuff, and he's had enough, and he, it bubbled out right there, and I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because you think about everything else going on yesterday, behind the scenes, the things we've talked about now, knowing the game's postponed, him knowing that, and these numbers aren't going to get any better because he knew the timeline of when his players would be out of contact tracing and quarantine as a result of the contact tracing.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew that the Missouri game was already in jeopardy. Sunday's testing. You get just the one positive in a place on your team that's going to – he knew what he was up against. He knew, just trying to play this game this week was going to be a real challenge. And then this was probably just one of the straws that broke the camel's back in responding to something like this. But, I think everyone has a line. You can say a lot of things about me. You can call me ugly. You can call me fat. You can call me whatever. But there's a line when somebody accuses you of something that is not part of who you are, that you're going to respond. You're going to snap back. You're going to defend yourself in certain areas of your character, your morals, your ethics, whatever it is. When somebody says something about who you are, that's okay. I'm not taking that. I think not standing up for his players, that was just too far.
Straw that broke the camel's
That was it for Sam Pittman. You can say a lot of things, but you're not going to say that.
Clay, Tommy and I were joking about this, and Tommy said mine would be – and listen, there's a lot of millennials that are very much lazy. I don't think I fall in that category, and Tommy said mine, the thing that would irk me and tick me off
if I came on here and said you were being lazy, you would jump across this table at
I'd
me.
go off.
You'd be mad.
Because that is not –
I could say a lot of things about you, but if I said that, you would just go, you would come unglued.
Yeah, and I have the long hair, but
sometimes when Tommy, when something's really close to the truth, it hurts.
Shut up.
See here, you're thank you, Clay.
I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you. I'm just saying,
sure sounded like it.
Randomly, yes.
Oh, okay.
And you took that personal.
See his response.
So what? Tommy's listed mine. Tommy, what would Clay's be? And then Clay, what would Tommy's be?
If someone said Clay Henry knows nothing about fly fishing, he couldn't tie a ruby midge on if his life depended on it, I think Clay would probably have a fairly strong response to that.
Now, Clay, what would Tommy's be?
That he's an inept and incompetent official.
I've been called that many a time. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
sometimes
to your face, right?
Yeah, exactly, all the time.
And with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter,
your integrity gets challenged a lot.
I'd say, but like you guys mentioned, there's certain Clay.
I think what would really hurt. No, that was jokingly, but something that would really, really bother Tommy and probably make him, rail up and could get in a fight is that he was not a loving father. It's like, you don't care about your kids. And that's exactly what Sam felt in that moment. Right, Tommy?
That's a great way of putting it.
And the connection you made, he doesn't have any kids, so Clay, those are his kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's probably the best characters. And that's a good one for Tommy, too, is Dylan and Abigail are important in his life.
Absolutely. Hey, tomorrow morning, Brett Goot's going to join us here on the show, former Razorback Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team, and that is why Brett is part of the team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. He can help you with employee benefits, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, he can take care of any commercial or personal insurance needs as well. So be sure and be with us tomorrow. Brett will tell us more about that. And call him if you need insurance or employee staffing or employee benefits, 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292. And I love Taylor, too, by the way. All three of them.
Yeah. Sorry, Taylor. She's my age, too. I should know that. Hour number 3 coming up.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Burton Pools and Spas is your local hot spring spa dealer. Hot Spring Spas, the #1 spa brand, helps reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and helps you get a better night's sleep. Invest in yourself and get more out of each day with a new Hot Spring Spa at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry hybrid, Highlander hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/30/20.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Woo woo! Beat up sauce alert! 4 new sauces just hit the menu. Listen closely for the lineup. Player 1, pizza sauce. The game day decision of pizza versus wings is now easier than ever. Player 2, lemon pepper. Yep, that's right. Now it's a sauce too. Player 3, orange sauce. Served with a fortune cookie on the side. And lastly, coming in hot, Carolina Reaper. This sauce just moved up to captain, taking over as Beat Up's new blazing sauce. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Green RV and Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Wrath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough, so if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Wrath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, wrathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will drop down to near 40 degrees. We will see a chance of showers and a chance of thunderstorms for Tuesday. Our high in the low to mid 60s. Wednesday back to sun and a high mid 50s north, low 60s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Western Arkansas Counseling. Help a veteran today. Call 1-800-542-1031.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Well, I'm thankful to be the head coach at Arkansas. I mean, I'm thankful for my staff. I'm thankful for the fans. I'm blessed. I'm thankful to our players. Been a pretty good year for me.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. Biggest news that came out of yesterday. Arkansas, Missouri postponed as of this weekend. No date has been set, but that is something that is probably going to happen on December the 12th. That could happen December 19th. We'll see what ends up shaking out, but we'll see what happens with the rest of Arkansas's football season. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And because of the game getting postponed, I know that many of you were excited to see me and Jenkins stuff a bunch of tacos down our gullet at Joe's Grill and Cantina. That will not be happening on Saturday.
Listen to what these guys are going to do, Clay. Listen to this deal.
See, here's what I think happened. Ty reached out to Kyle and everybody at Arkansas just because Ty got scared, so he needed this Missouri game to get canceled. That way this contest wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So this is exactly like not wanting to play Alabama. Jenkins,
exactly.
you are his Alabama.
Yes.
And he's sliding around, and he knows that he's going to fall through the ice, and he's just not even going to get out on the pond, right?
Nick Saban sitting across from me right now is waiting for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like in Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
You could be sick and have a bad day, and Ty can win, but he doesn't even want to go for that.
That's
He's
true.
not. He is not one that steps up to a challenge.
Yes,
he's just not one that does that.
I agree.
You know,
it's
and
just like Tiger Woods. None of us could beat Tiger Woods in a round of golf, but the one hole on one day we might beat him for a hole.
Yeah,
well,
but,
at Augusta on number 12 on Sunday, he had a 10.
He can step in a gopher hole and his back goes out, and you got him.
He had
you
a 10.
got him.
Exactly. He put it in the water 3 times at Amen Corner on the par 3 on 12.
I mean, you can have
same thing here.
You can have a gorgeous Swedish blonde show up and he just melts, and I mean it's over. You got him.
Yeah. Nick Saban could put it in the lumberyard 3 times against the Razorbacks.
You know, when I got into sports
Good luck
radio,
in Haiti.
I told myself, I swore to myself that I would never be a homer radio host. So forgive me just for not getting on the airwaves and saying that Arkansas is going to beat Alabama
and the
in
refs,
Sam
and the
Pittman.
refs
I didn't
cheated.
say they're going to beat them. I don't want to give away the chance, Ty. That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
You know, I've never wanted to back away, and when I see a challenge, I was like, I'll try that. I'll see what I can do.
That's what he said about the taco contest, and then
So,
he backed down.
Comparing Jenkins to Alabama is a little bit of a stretch. But
I don't know about that, brother.
We'll
I
see.
don't know about that.
Just a little bit
JT
of a
texted
stretch.
in. He said, Ty's
In an
LSU
eating
is-
contest, he is Alabama.
Yeah.
You damn right. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So,
Thank you,
eating
Clay.
contest is postponed. We will not let this get canceled. We will let it. I will have to go talk to the powers that be and
There'll
see
be
what-
another day.
There will be another day. But if dollar tacos are on your mind, it's Taco Tuesday at Joe's. You can do that today. Saturday they'll still have the dollar tacos that you can enjoy. And unfortunately, we won't be able to to enjoy the Arkansas-Missouri game together there. But we will soon get together for a game at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
And speaking of food, I want to know, what meat do you eat on Thanksgiving? Now, I know many of you will just text in turkey, but there are actually a variety of different meats that people decide. They have their own family tradition that they eat on Thanksgiving. That's going to come up at the end of the segment. Go and text those in. You can voice your opinion at 877-377-6963. Some people like ham. Some people like turducken. Some people go out like
Turducken is turkey.
But it's with duck and chicken and a bunch of other stuff. So text those in 877-377-6963. We will come back to that. But the biggest news of yesterday, that Arkansas and Missouri being postponed. Greg Sankey released a statement, said contact tracing continues to be the biggest contributing factor to the game's interruptions. We will continue to manage the remaining weeks of the football schedule to allow for as many games to be as played as possible. Now, 7 SEC matchups have been postponed in the last 3 weeks. Matt Jones did a good job of picking that up, your colleague Clay over at Whole Hog Sports, and 12 have been postponed as part of COVID stuff this season. And Arkansas made it through 8 games so far and finally got one. And again, if you want to look at this scenario as glass half full, you're getting 2 weeks to prepare for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And Clay, you've talked about how several of these games this season, teams that you're playing, the better teams you're playing, they're coming off tough ball games. Well, this isn't Cam Newton Auburn or Nick Marshall Auburn, but it's still the Iron Bowl. It's still a heated rivalry
Auburn's played
game.
better of late,
and that
they
is
have actually kind of settled in their offensive line a little bit better.
Beat Tennessee this past weekend. So I think if you're looking at it from that scenario, Arkansas getting 2 weeks to prepare for Alabama, it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, they may get 2 weeks for Missouri because that game may end up being on the 19th.
Correct.
They may be off on the 12th. That has not been determined yet. The SEC is going to still look at what games need to be rescheduled. So the playing date of the 12th is an option. The playing date of the 19th is an option.
And Clay, to your point, I wonder of the 12th and 19th, because, that's what we talked about, is that it has not been confirmed for the next date of that game. I wonder if the SEC, with the championship game being played on the 19th, that they've already said, and they've already come out a couple weeks ago and said, we will have the possibility of playing that game. Now, remember, they moved the time. Typically, it's around, 3 or 4 in the afternoon or 2:30. They've moved it to 7. That's when
the
for
game?
the SEC championship.
That's to allow for games to be played throughout the day.
And they don't want a single SEC game being played during that championship game. So I wonder if they have the chance or the opportunity to squeeze as many of those games on the 12th as possible, just so attention isn't being taken away from that SEC championship.
Yeah, I think if all options, if neither Arkansas or Missouri are playing on the 12th in another makeup game, then you play it on the 12th, and then that also, there's a potential for both of those teams to be playing in bowl games, so that in the bowl games are going to come pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about playing in the middle of December, so that gives you more time to heal up and be ready for a bowl game.
And I think the bowl
12th is the better option. Yes.
Yes. And I want, and now when you say the better option, you're talking about for both.
From the SEC's viewpoint.
Yes. But I wonder, I mean, you're talking about getting ready, getting healed up for the bowl game. Clay, if you're Arkansas, do you want another bye week off to get ready for Missouri, but then have to follow that up with what could be a quick bowl game after? In your opinion, what's more important, getting a bye week for Missouri or not having a bye week for the Missouri game and then getting all that time off for the bowl game?
Well, I think it just depends on what your health situation, both COVID and injury wise. You could be without some players. I don't know. I mean, I guess you wouldn't know that till you got there.
And
whatever,
I think
whatever results in a win is what you want to do.
That's probably the best. And then also, guys, y'all think about this is it also depends on what bowl season looks like, because we've seen the projections. We've seen Arkansas in the Music City Bowl in Nashville. We've seen them in Liberty Bowl in Memphis. Yeah. We've seen them in the Texas Bowl in Houston. We've also seen them in the Outback Bowl in Tampa. There's no guarantee that they're going to do bowls or what those are going to look like and what those are going to be. You can end up in Birmingham for the whatever bowl that is that the SEC is a part of. So I wonder Sam Pittman always comes out and says we treat every game the same, but I would think, now this is just my opinion, curious what y'all's is, I would think that beating Missouri is more important than beating whatever bowl team they play, unless it's like a Texas or something, or like a rival or a Southwest Conference opponent.
They're both
and they are both important.
And I'll tell you why the bowl game, I know because you don't know who it would be and where it would be at, but it's your last impression, it's your last image, and you live with what happens in that bowl game for months. You lose to Missouri, you have a bowl game to redeem yourself. The bowl game is the lasting image for recruiting. It's the last message you get to send to your fans who are going to make a decision to renew or not renew season tickets and donate money. So bowl games are important for a lot of reasons more than just that extra W.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. I get the question. It's kind of strange because signing day is, the bulk of the players are going to sign in December, and you haven't been around those players much, and, that impression might be more important this particular year than a bowl game when, but by the same token, there could be an awful lot of games played on the 12th around the country, and the TV viewership is divided up, and you get a bowl game that's in prime time that more of the nation sees and more of the recruits that are still out there, the 5 or 6 spots you're trying to fill in February. So I don't know. It's a coin flip, but I think it's a good question, Ty.
And I wonder just how that's going to shake out. But, again, we won't know. They'll schedule the Alabama-Arkansas game next Monday, 6 days in advance. I'm assuming that math's right, that they're going to put it on Monday. And we'll see what happens probably the following week as far as the Missouri game goes, Tommy.
We are brought to you by Pinnacle Telecom. That's who we trust here in the Morning Rush studios, and for our company to provide us with high-speed, dedicated fiber internet. It's been several years now, but Pinnacle came out, and we've been partners with Pinnacle for years, but as the upgrade of technology has just evolved, we upgraded to fiber service. They came out, dug a trench from the right-of-way out in front of the studio building all the way in, buried it underground, brought fiber into the building, and since then, the internet solutions that has provided for us and our ability to just have stable, high-speed service has been incredible. And you can name the speed you need. Some businesses need a gigabit because they have much bigger facilities and much greater demands. We were able to pick the upload and the download speeds we need because we stream so much audio and video. Uploading speeds were important to us, and they worked with us to design the perfect connection, and it works great. Call them today. If you have those needs or business telephone needs, they can work with you. 479-242-0000. These are the local people. That's why I don't give you an 877-866-888 number. You call local people when you call Pinnacle Telecom. 479-242-0000.
So Sam Pittman told us yesterday that the players, and again, this is subject to change with the game getting canceled, but they are going to have practice early on Thanksgiving Day, and then they're letting them go home. Now, I don't know, with there not being a game, what's going to happen as far as that goes with the practice schedule, but many of these young men will get a chance to eat some really good food this week. And so I posed this question to you. We've already got a lot of listeners that have texted in, and you're welcome to get in on this, 877-377-6963. What meat are you eating on Thanksgiving? Now, a lot of you will say turkey, which is absolutely fine, but then some people will say Cajun, some people will say smoked. I'm getting a deep fried one from Arts. But we've actually gotten a couple of interesting texts already when it comes to what people are having meat-wise for Thanksgiving. Bill Qualls texts in. He says, we are having an untraditional Petit Jean bacon breakfast.
Well,
interesting. I mean, there's nothing wrong with good slab of bacon.
Well, you can. You said I can have a 16-ounce, 1 pound filet or a pound of bacon. That's not an easy call for the filet. You know what I mean? A pound of Petit Jean bacon. That'd be a good way to start your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I have a friend that is really a good chef, and I mean a gourmet chef, and he, I'll just tell you his name, Jeremiah Gage from Ozark. Lives in Colorado now. I think he might be listening in Northwest Arkansas. He's in the state for Thanksgiving, and when he cooks, he tells me bacon is your friend.
Absolutely.
Anything you're cooking, bacon is your friend.
Tell me anything that bacon.
Heavy whipping
better.
cream, bacon. Those are ingredients that make any dish great. So, I've learned from him. My Thanksgiving meal, I usually kind of poll the group that's going to be there, and we'll have 9. I don't know what kind of laws we're breaking, but I will smoke for a midday meal. I will smoke 2 whole chickens, some baby back ribs, and a pork loin. So there's some like one thing, some like the other. The whole chicken seem to be a big hit, and they turn out a little better than the turkey, a little more juicy. So that's kind of what I've gone to. Kind of been hit or miss with turkeys.
Yeah, and we'll do the turkeys, but Christmas is the holiday we have went. I mean, we're very traditional on Thanksgiving. Mom's bringing broccoli casserole, and she's bringing the green bean casserole and all the things that she may only make once a year. I'm not giving up my once-a-year stuff. I don't care if it's 2020 or not. I don't care if COVID's one of the ingredients. I'm eating it, because Mom only makes these certain side dishes once a year. And so we're going to eat them. And turkey's going to be part of it because I enjoy you got to think about leftovers. What do I want to be eating on Friday? What do I want to be eating on Saturday? And by Sunday, I'm ready to throw it away. But, you got to consider these things. Those turkey and Swiss sandwiches you get for a few days after it, the leftovers, where you can blend a little bit of the dark meat with the thigh and the leg and a little bit of the breast. Woo-wee.
It's funny you bring that up because
you got to have a good loaf of bread before the stores close on Wednesday.
JT in Hot Springs says that you and him talked about that last year. The Thursday and night and Friday night sandwiches that you just mentioned.
Maybe even put a little bit of stuffing on your sandwich with a little cranberry.
He says turkey is a given, but bacon, brown sugar glazed ham. Now, John in Nashville texted in deer meat. Have any of y'all ever had deer meat on Thanksgiving?
We had backstrap or deer tenderloins a few years ago. Absolutely.
B from Clarksville texting. He says, this year I'm riding solo for Thanksgiving, so he's thinking ribs or hot dogs. You ever had ribs or hot dogs on Thanksgiving?
Not on Thanksgiving. I love both ribs and hot dogs. If I was going to choose one or the other for Thanksgiving, Clay, I think the ribs are the easy call.
You can do some fun things with hot dogs. A little chili, a little cheese, a little onions. Turn them into fire dogs.
You can do both. I mean, if you're going to get the grill fired up for ribs, you can just have some cook's meat there. So have some a little something to sample on as the ribs smoke.
I'm trying to stay away from hot dogs as much as I can because there's still a possibility that I lose my fantasy football league and have to eat 76 in a week.
Wow, I forgot about that.
So I'm trying to stay away from
kind of rooting against you. Yeah.
I
kind of want to watch this 70-something hot dogs in a week.
Be great content for this radio show, no question about it.
I don't know if it'd be great, but it'll be content.
And I'll eat them during the show, so that's something you'll have to suffer through these breaks. Craig texts in, he says, smoked turkey, duck, ham, and with any luck, chicken wings. Now, I've never had chicken wings. I've had one. We mentioned a Traduncan earlier. I've had a Traduncan once, and it was really good. Now, it's a turkey, and it's a chicken stuffed with duck or a duck stuffed with chicken.
Yeah.
One of the two? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all three, some of the best meats out there, but that is something that
it's generally a Cornish hen when you get down to it.
Is it?
And then,
okay.
Yeah, a little small
little baby chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
Now, I'll say one thing my dad did one year. Now, this wasn't on Thanksgiving, but it was Christmas. He did quails one year, and they were spectacular.
Pheasant?
I think that's the only time I've ever had that, but it was
all the lead and steel shot her out of it. And there ain't no lead no more, but you know what I mean.
My original
shotgun
plan this
shot.
year was to smoke 6 Cornish hens, but that got vetoed by the family.
The key to all of this, if you're doing poultry, if you're doing chicken, Cornish hens, as Clay mentioned, which is just little small chickens, of course, or big turkey, 12, 15, 18-pound bird. The key to it, and hopefully you've already started this, A, thawing out, but B, you got to brine, man. The brining is the critical step most people pass on. And injecting won't do it. I'm sorry. Injecting is not enough. You need a good 24 to 48-hour brine on your turkey to really get it done right.
And then one of the reasons why I've
your
got
chickens too. You
multiple
need to do that with your
racks.
chickens, yeah.
So I've got the chickens on the bottom rack and the.
Are you brining them?
The ribs, no, because
You
I've
better
got
get with
ribs and pork tenderloin on
Yep.
top, and they baste the chickens.
Yeah, but that brining gets deep down in there, and it's a different. You go to another level when you brine them.
Colton in Fayetteville texting, he says, my in-laws do Thanksgiving breakfast every year. Now, we typically have those Sister Schubert sausage rolls for breakfast, and then we eat our Thanksgiving dinner around 3 or 4.
We do Christmas breakfast about 10, 11 o'clock. And now that I've got the griddle, the Blackstone,
it's going to be dangerous.
We're going to another level with breakfast this year at Christmas. Let me just tell you right now.
Corey and Rogers texting.
Breakfast cooking machine.
He says, we smoke turkey throughout the year for homemade pot pies. So for Thanksgiving this year, we are smoking ribs and pork butt. That sounds. Listen, there's nothing wrong with good old barbecue.
Nothing wrong with any of this stuff.
It's the good old barbecue.
I'm sticking with my turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Greg says fried Spam with stuffing. Greg, I don't know if I can get with
Fried Spam's good. I'm not having it for Thanksgiving, but a fried Spam sandwich ain't nothing wrong with that.
We used to make Spam creations for this camp I used to go to called Brook Hill, and that kind of turned me off to Spam when I was a little kid.
Taylor in Georgia wants to know if it's really true that you don't like mac and cheese.
Yeah, mac and cheese. You can't homemade, craft, restaurant.
This is just
can't do it.
This is just weird, Clay. I mean, how do you not like macaroni and cheese?
Well, I think he's un-American, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We all have our flaws. That's definitely one of mine. And I've tried a variety of different ones that just doesn't sit well with me. And I'm not typically picky about pretty much anything, but that is one of the weird, odd ducks as far as that conversation goes.
So mac and cheese, another trick is when you're, a little bit of heavy whipping cream and bacon. And it just changes everything.
Bacon.
Yeah. Hey, it's the holidays. How would you like to win $15,000 to use to pay your rent or your mortgage for the next year? Our friends, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and the great folks at Chambers Bank making that possible. Go to hitthatline.com. Click on the tab that says free rent. We got a couple great giveaways going on right now. Let me tell you about some bikes we're giving away as well. But don't miss out. You can win $15,000. Spend it how you want, but spend it on rent or mortgage from Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank. You have until December the 14th to register. It's online at hitthatline.com for all the rules, details, and it's all there for you. Just click on the button that says free rent at the top of the page or on the menu bar. That's $15,000 from Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Chambers Bank, and hitthatline.com.
Coming up, we'll get into our hog update, including what Hunter Yurchek, your athletics director at the U of A, said about the postponement of the game.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
eBay has gifts that say a lot, but don't cost a lot.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Frankfurt Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale. 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day. 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th. And 6:30 to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Love, regular $22.50, on sale, finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture. Super Black Friday sale. Best seats in the house.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Owner's Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks is in the gun on first down. He's going to fake it to Smith, throw it deep. Great catch over the shoulder. That's Woods at the 40. Michael stays on his feet, reverses field into Gator territory, to the 30, to the 20. He's got a chance to go. Woods into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas.
I'm going to try this call-in number. Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
So tomorrow we are going to also dive into your favorite TV show episodes and your favorite movies that you watch around the Thanksgiving holidays. I think that's a conversation that many people will be looking forward to, because I know there's a variety of opinions, not only when it comes to food, but pop culture and movies as well. We're going to get into your hog update coming up here on the Morning Rush.
You know, the holidays make a lot of things tough, and family situations don't make it any easier. And when you're going through a divorce, many times problems crop up after the divorce is over. One common problem is an ex-spouse over custody and visitation with your children, particularly here at the holidays. If you're dealing with a high conflict issue and you need an attorney that handles these specific cases, call our friends at the Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. They know how to help. They know what to do because they deal with this every day, and they deal with cases all over Arkansas as well as other states as well. So any child custody problems you're dealing with day in and day out, Kevin Hickey and his partners can help you. Call Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey. They have two offices, one in the River Valley, one in Northwest Arkansas. 479-434-2414. That's the River Valley office, or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. ARTrialLawyers.com is their website. That's ARTrialLawyers.com.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh, yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
As far as the Alabama-Arkansas time is concerned, typically they do announce that 2 weeks prior, the Monday prior to the next upcoming week, and they weren't able to do that. Yesterday, the SEC came out and said there will be no announcement of the kickout times for the TV networks on December the 5th for SEC football. The selections will be made on a 6-day selection process, which means next Monday. So we will find out next Monday when Arkansas takes on an Alabama. And Clay, I agreed with you when you said that if there was a TV time that kind of stands out, you haven't had SEC on CBS, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. It's a possibility you could get that next weekend when you take on the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And I think it's anytime you have a chance to play Alabama in Razorback Stadium, you ought to jump at that. And I think it would be – there's strange things that can happen in college football. You got to play the games. You don't win them on paper. And I've seen some times when I didn't think, number one, Texas came into Fayetteville. It didn't look like there would be any way Arkansas have a chance, and they win comfortably. So you just never know.
Yeah. I just looking at some of the other games on the schedule that they might be attracted to. A&M and Auburn play that day.
That's a good one, yeah.
Florida plays Tennessee. That's a big Eastern Division rival, but Florida should be a heavy favorite in that. You just looking through some of the games that they might choose from, and those would be the two that you're probably competing with. There's always a desire to put number one on, but they also want people to watch for 4 quarters as well. So and
they've also had Alabama on a number of times.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it. I think they get to a point where they can't show Alabama anymore.
Well, I think
on
there's
CBS.
a limit. I think it's 5. I think is the limit.
And they usually get to that number every year.
I don't know what it is this year. Those rules may be out the window.
The window.
But in a normal season, I believe the conference has an arrangement that 5 times in a year is the most you're going to show, and they have to get a waiver to go beyond that.
Speaking of Arkansas football, one of the reasons you've been successful on defense is because of 3 particular players: Bumper Poole, Grant Morgan, and then Jalen Calhoun. If you want to throw Jonathan Marshall in there, no one's going to disagree with you there because he's obviously been pivotal when it comes to disrupting on the defensive line. 3 of those guys, being Poole, being Morgan, being Calhoun, are the top 3 of the top 4 tacklers in the SEC. And Grant Morgan leads the country in tackles this year, and that goes to show you that these guys are playing. Now, you would like the defensive line outside of Marshall to kind of step up a little bit. I know that you're really depleted because you didn't have Coates, Gerald, Gregory, Nichols. There's 1 or 2 other guys. It might have been 7, if I remember that correctly. So you're hoping that defensive line is ready to go against the Alabama Crimson Tide. But cool to see a couple Razorbacks up there at the very top of the list when it comes to SEC talent.
Yeah, Simeon Blair, who's played an awful lot at free safety, was out too. So yeah, there's you think about how that defense played and how they held up for 4 quarters with all those guys out, and it was, it was tough. And Jonathan Marshall, I think, has been playing half the snaps. They've rotated those defensive linemen. Xavier Kelly and Isaiah Nichols, in those 2 inside spots have rotated a lot. And they, basically Marshall just had to stay out there and take it for the team. And, I think his NFL stock, he may be the highest rated senior that goes in the draft this year. I mean, I've talked to Jim Washburn, who coached defensive line for a long time, and Jim really, really has been impressed by what Jonathan's done this year. And I think, we probably don't give Jonathan enough credit because he gets double teamed. He's not going to make the tackles, but he frees up Marshall and Poole because of those double teams to make a lot of tackles.
Yeah. Hey, I want to tell you about another giveaway we have going on here on the Morning Rush. Go to hitthatline.com. We told you about the $15,000 we're giving away. We're also giving away 2 bikes just in time for Christmas, and there's no better Christmas gift than a new bicycle. And we got one for the kids and one for the kids at heart. Specialized road bike and a specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike that we're giving away from Champion Cycling in Fort Smith. All you have to do is register. We'll give these away right here on the Morning Rush on December 18th. We'll give them away separately, so one person's not going to win both. We'll give away 2 separate entries. So enter once a day, every day, and win a new bike for Christmas from Champion Cycling in Fort Smith and hitthatline.com.
Coming up, we'll hear what Hunter Yurachek had to say about the postponement of the Arkansas-Missouri game, and then also what Danielle Musselman had to say about where Eric Musselman is sleeping this season.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Breen RV and Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Blowout Sale, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thanksgiving Day the 26th, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday the 27th, and 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday the 28th. For example, Catnapper Reclining Sofa and Loves regular $22.50, on sale finance price $18.22, cash price $16.70. Store-wide sale. All furniture, bedroom furniture, and mattresses are on sale. 3 days only at Frank Roll Furniture Super Black Friday Sale. Best seats in the house.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family. And the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest selections of adult beverages in the River Valley, await your evening. When you think about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress. Don't delay. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, open 5 till 9 Tuesday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com, to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya. Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mallett looking, goes up top, got in coverage. Adams on the button. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
Many of you were disappointed to see the Arkansas-Missouri game had been postponed. I think Hunter Yurchek and Sam Pittman are also in that same camp. We'll get to what Hunter had to say about it on the other side.
Hey, if you're ready to take the next step in your career and maybe identify a new career, call our friends at United Welding Institute in Pottsville. They've been changing people's lives, changing their families since 2013. Average students there make $2,800 a week in high-paying jobs in fields like the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines. There's so many places that the marketplace, the job place out there is needing career welders, and they can help you seize that opportunity and take the next step towards a successful and essential career. Classes are forming now. Call United Welding Institute in Pottsville. 479-968-3390. That's 479-968-3390, or read more online at UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Coach Sam Pittman and I are disappointed that we cannot find a viable path for our student-athletes to safely compete in Missouri this weekend. We will use this work as an opportunity, work week, as an opportunity to get healthy again, and we look forward to playing Alabama and Missouri to end the season. Again, that's from Arkansas Athletics Director Hunter Yurchek concerning the postponement of the game. And look, I understand the disappointment because you're used to having Thanksgiving in Arkansas football, but you got to look at the positives. You got 2 weeks to prepare for Bama. That's how you have to look at it. And you get your guys healthier. You get your guys ready to take on that offense. Plus, they're playing Auburn this weekend. And that's an intense rivalry game. Even if they beat them, they're going to be coming off of that game either riding high or whatever it may be. I look at this as a positive, guys, and I think those outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think another choice.
Yeah, that's the right way to handle it, and you don't know what kind of breaks you're going to be given. and you got to be ready to take advantage of them. And got a little bit more time to focus on Alabama, and that's good. And you saw what it did for LSU to have a week off, 2 weeks off, as it turned out. It's kind of hard to fathom. LSU had not played since October 31st when they came to Fayetteville. Is that not weird?
It's basically 3 weeks,
yep.
right?
That is exactly right.
Yeah,
that was their only game in November so far.
That's something, all right. All right, I'll tell you, now our Arkansas fans, some are disappointed, some are happy, but I'll tell you a guy that's not happy about what occurred this weekend is Craig in Deer, considering Tennessee got their game taken away this weekend. Yeah. Craig, you were on the Morning Rush, man.
Morning, fellas. How y'all today?
Man, we're doing okay. How are you doing?
Man, I'm okay. I'm nursing a broke leg, but still working. Go hop around on a pretty good. Yeah, I run a construction company. I came off a 10-foot ladder, and I stuck the landing that the Russian judge would give me better than a 6.4 I'd have won the goal. So
got to point those toes, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what my buddy told me? This is true. He told me when I was living in South Carolina before I moved here, and he said, "You're moving to Arkansas." He said, "Oh my gosh," he said, "the IQ in both states is just gonna go down." And so I guess going from the smartest guy in South Carolina to the dumbest guy in Arkansas I guess that's a compliment. I don't know. Anyhow, what I call y'all about? Jeremy Pruitt. Y'all think y'all have a problem here? You've got a program that's competitive. You know what Pruitt said when he played Jarrett Garantino win again? He's playing the guy that gives them the best chance to win, but they're not winning. To me, that's like drilling a hole in the bottom of your boat and let the water out. It's the same kind of logic, but anyhow. And I think they might have lost to Vanderbilt this weekend. I guess I'm kind of glad. So, anyhow.
That would have done him in, wouldn't it? A loss to Vanderbilt at this point.
I've never been a Hugh Freeze fan, but I'm about desperate enough now to
I don't know what his
take it out.
Is he still?
I don't know what his buyout is, but you say it had done him in. In a normal year, it would have.
Craig, you bring up Hugh Freeze. Is Hugh Freeze still blackballed by Sankey in the SEC? Could he get a legitimate SEC coordinator position or job? Because you got to remember,
there was a time
Saban tried to hire him. Go back to that. He tried to hire him, and it didn't happen. So I'm wondering if Mr. Potato Head, as you like to refer to Jeremy Pruitt as, Craig, if they let him go like Muschamp, if there would actually be a contingency of volunteer faithful that tries to go after Hugh Freeze, and on that point, would Greg Sankey in the SEC allow him to be back in the league?
Yeah,
don't know. He's probably blackballed, but if they give the man a burner phone, he'd probably be all right. That's all he needed last time. He just wasn't very smart. Hey, by the way, it's the Thanksgiving food. Standing ribs, the only way to go, fellas.
Standing ribs.
Once standing rib, yes, sir. My mama, when I was young, I don't want to take up all your time, but when I was about 11 years old, Mama won a contest. All the groceries you could put in your basket in 1 minute, and she could only get one of everything, and nobody could help. And I just went out ahead of her and leaned it out on the edge of the meat rack, and she went along knocking stuff in, and she knocked the standing rib in. We didn't know what it was. It's just a prime rib, just a giant prime rib.
Yeah.
And she cooked that for Thanksgiving, and we've never gone back. That's what we had every year for Thanksgiving.
Little prime rib, little creamy horseradish sauce.
I'm looking at it now. It looks absolutely delightful, Craig.
So it'll make your stuff stink. I ain't kidding about that. It's good. So anyhow, y'all we got a lot to be thankful for. Even with this broke leg, it could have killed me, So I'm very thankful that it didn't do more damage than it did. So y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for having sports talk in the morning that makes sense. And with that, I'll let you go.
Well, thank you, Craig, for calling, and you have a great Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah, and that's we apologize. The best of luck in your recovery on your broken leg. I
don't know what show he's listening to that makes sense, but happy Thanksgiving to those guys too.
Exactly, Clay. He brings up a good point. Now we were under, and this is not just me, Tommy. I think a lot of us were under the impression that there wasn't going to be an SEC coach let go by the end of the season. It happened mid-season with Will Muschamp.
It must have been really bad with Muschamp to be willing to part with $13 million, up to $13 million potentially, to get rid of him. It must have been a really bad situation behind the scenes.
And if things shake out in Tennessee on the the worst side of things and the worst of ways for Mr. Potato Head and Jeremy Pruitt, I wonder if the Vols Nation would make a move, and if Hugh Freeze, is that a legitimate candidate for the Tennessee Volunteers job if they do make a move?
Money? It's one thing to fire your coach. How are you going to pay for it all?
The optics looks awful.
I would think that what's going to happen at Tennessee is that Pruitt would get to stay another year, but they'll change coordinators, that Jim Chaney is out. And the way they've coached quarterbacks and called plays is going to be, adjustments at halftime have been non-existent. That's where your change is going to be this go-round. Now, they lose to Vanderbilt, all bets are off. Freeze, everybody keeps talking about, the burner phone or this or that, like he didn't get caught cheating. That's, to me, the part. I don't think personal conduct is really a concern of Greg Sankey. I really don't think that's what they worry about. I think they worry about, the recruiting violations that Freeze piled up at Ole Miss that got him on probation, not the personal conduct. And I think that's still out there. I think that he'll have a hard time getting a job in the SEC, no matter what kind of lobbying Jimmy Sexton does around the league. I just can't see him being in the SEC after the recruiting violations. Now, you got Bruce Pearl down at Auburn. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
And I don't know what Liberty's paying him, but even on the lower scale of a coach at this level, what school at this point would you be willing to pay him? There are some that are paying closer to $2 million for coordinators, but the purse strings are a little bit drawn tight right now at a lot of places.
That's a good point. And Tennessee, they finish out their season against Florida, at Texas A&M, and then the Vanderbilt game to close it out. So there's a good chance they'll be 1-2. Maybe they lose to Vanderbilt too. We'll see what happens, but we'll keep an eye on that as far as what's happening with the Tennessee Volunteers, because I know Craig has got his ears to the floor. Now I want to change subjects real quick as we close down here on the Morning Rush. Danielle Musselman put out this video yesterday, which was hysterical, talking about what the sleeping situation is going to look like for her and her husband, Eric Musselman, head coach of Arkansas basketball. Here was the video that she put out concerning her and her husband's sleeping arrangements this season.
Hey guys, with the season starting in just a couple of days, I know there's going to be a lot of chatter about the pool house. If you remember last season, Coach slept in the pool house after a loss. And I just wanted to announce that we've come to a mutual decision that he's going to sleep in the pool house, win or lose, because anytime after a game, he's up till like 3 and 4 in the morning, and he's like talking about his feelings, and he is looking at box scores, and he's texting people, and he's watching TV, and it keeps me up. And I still have to get up at 6 o'clock with our 10-year-old. And so in order for me to get more sleep, Coach is going to sleep out here.
Not just after losses this season, but Danielle said after wins as well. So every game day, that night, Eric Musselman, now there's shower out there, there's Gatorade. Swish will not be out there, though. Their dog. Yeah. Swish will be inside with the Musselman crew. So, but it looks like Eric Musselman has been, what's the word when you get kicked out? You're on the you're not on the he's not getting kicked
ostracized. He's been what?
What'd you say?
Now he hasn't been evicted because he's probably welcome back on non-game days. He's not been what is it they did to you in Russia when they'd send you up to Siberia? I know the word. I just can't think of it. Help me, Clay. But
exiled?
Yeah, that's one word. But what we're finding out here is who really runs the show over there. He may be the head coach of the basketball team, and I don't think we ever really doubted it. But this is just public proof that, just like the rest of us, he may be the head coach, but he doesn't run his show any more than the rest of us run ours.
You're telling me
just so we don't feel sorry for us, she took a video tour of the pool house, and it looks pretty sweet to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, what would be, at my house, if I get kicked out, I'm sleeping outside. There is no pool house to go to, so at least he has the pool house.
I'm just out there on the porch with an extra blanket, right?
Exactly. And I hope there's enough wood to keep the fire going. But and I'm lucky to have that. So how long do you, when Coach Pittman went through COVID and he went to the pool house at his place, how long do you think the conversation lasted between him and Miss Jamie about, who was getting the pool house and who was getting the big house?
Say about 2 seconds.
I don't. You think it was that long?
Or maybe he volunteered. So Sam's an admirable guy. He probably volunteered.
I bet that conversation didn't go very far, but it even got started.
I bet. It has been a great Toyota Tuesday. Make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including what I drive to work every day, the Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Again, we have a lot to dive into tomorrow. Brett Good, former Razorback. We're going to have Bo Hembry on, the head coach of Warren High School. He coached Traylon Burks. And we're also going to have some fun with your favorite Thanksgiving TV episodes and movies.
Make a hot spring spa